And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media, always providing you the timely truth, centered around real estate, credit, finance, and estate planning, tax planning, insurance, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage with you so that we can help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. We want you to call or text that line with any questions you have. It's an off-air number as well. Also, bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. And I implore you to check that out. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida and beyond that we've assembled, we've vetted, and we bring on the show to help you understand more about your buying decisions, help you avoid a lot of that commission breath that's so prevalent out there in our community, online and offline. It's Intelligent Talk Radio, and I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Diane Vance back in the house. Welcome in.
Thank you, Brandon.
Fairway Independent Mortgage.
Yes, Fairway is in the Tampa Bay area. We are a national company, however local, and we have our processing and closing and everything right in our office, and I have 16 loan officers serving the Tampa Bay area.
Awesome. Yeah, good things. And we're seeing rates staying low, it seems.
Yes, rates are very low, and they're the lowest they've been in a few years, and so people should actually jump on the bandwagon to actually
That's right.
get started.
Take advantage. Cool. So many reasons why you can reduce PMI or get rid of PMI, pull some cash out, pay
Absolutely.
off that, condense to a
Buy
15.
another home.
That's right. Great time to do it. Great time to do it. Also, Kelly Oliver in the house, Business Loan Solutions. Welcome back.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Yeah.
We always talk about boots on the ground and what's going on in the marketplace.
That's right.
So, hotels are the hottest thing right now.
Ooh,
so we'll
big
talk
time.
about some hotel stuff.
I like that. Yeah, hotels, apartments, so many opportunities here in the Tampa Bay region and beyond, especially when it comes to the real estate sector. Big stuff happening. And making his debut, Doug Levi. Welcome in, sir.
All right. Well, thanks for throwing me the ball. I'm excited to be here. I'm Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance Services, and we help families and businesses prepare, protect, and recover from life's unexpected events. So we'll talk about some flood insurance issues coming up in a little bit.
Yeah, flood is one of those things that's a lot of times people have misconceptions around it. There's actually companies out there that can help you get out of the flood zone in a way if you meet certain criteria. There's a lot of cool things we could talk about, and we are in hurricane season. So let's pray for a light season this year. I think we've had our share of rough seasons lately, so we really need that. And we're going to talk about some Pinellas County market statistics as well coming up here on the show. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving, and I can tell you from first-hand experience that they are a first-class organization. They do a great job. Brothers Easy Moving, whether it's a local or long-distance move, they are among the best-reviewed movers in all of Tampa Bay. On Google, they hold a 4.6 rating, 4.5 on Yelp, and they have an A rating with their Better Business Bureau, as well as Angie's List, and they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got a couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay, a couple of properties that we just listed. We got one on Pier Road up in Port Richey. It's on Pier Road. Now, this is a commercial asset, great opportunity for a car lot or some type of development here. It's Zone C1, and it would be a great opportunity for townhomes. And it's right there in that Port Richey, Newport Richey line. You've driven that US 19 north or south right there. And if you look to the left, you see the Hooters and all those cool restaurants. So it's a really great opportunity for any buyer out there, developer, builder, and the owner's motivated at 7519 Pier Road, Port Richey. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, let's jump right into it. Diane Vance in the house. And Diane, you were mentioning, too, before the show that Pinellas County setting records. There's a lot of good things happening.
Yes, Pinellas County actually showed the strongest growth in 2 years for home sales.
Wow.
So there is a lot of purchases going on and a lot of listings that are actually coming on the market, but you have to act quickly because interest rates are so low.
That's right.
That when you see a home, you want to jump on it.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're looking at the absorption rate. That's one thing I always track is the absorption rate year over year. So April, the month of April in 2018 is 49% absorption rate, 2019 51%. Mm-hmm. Now, the month prior was a little different. It was 48% in 2018 in March, down to 39% in 2019. So kind of interesting, the way things have changed. And then you look back to January when we had the government shutdown. That's 2018 was 30% comparable to 22% in 2019. So a little bit of government shutdown, causing a little pause there.
Right, in January.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but now we're rocking and rolling things. It seems like we're hitting on all cylinders. The economy's booming right along.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a great time for consumers, investors, buyers, sellers, and investors to get involved.
It's the best time to actually get involved. And, we always talk about rent versus purchase.
Own. Yeah.
And owning a home, you're paying, you're building wealth, not your landlords.
That's right.
So it's kind of it's a win-win situation for anybody, especially in today's interest rate markets.
Yeah.
The interest rate's the lowest it's been, and it looks like it's going to be very stable because if people have been listening to the news, Powell has announced that he's not going to have a rate increase, which doesn't really have a lot to do with mortgages. It does, but it's more of investment,
kind of an indirect
relationship, right?
Yeah.
But all the other indicators are actually very low, so it's a good time.
Yeah, it really is. I was just mentioning before the show, we shot a TV show episode for our American Dream TV show that we're involved with, and we took a helicopter up around downtown, but it kind of made me brush up a little bit on some of the statistics and things that are coming up in downtown as I was, kind of talking about that on air. And it's interesting, 3 million square feet planned for downtown, 2 hotels, 3,500 awesome. Residential units, and the nation's first ever smart development.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, it's very exciting.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And the focus is on clean air, clean water, and natural light. And then one of the cool things I thought was about it is it's going to be promoting areas and spaces where people can actually meet and talk and share experiences as much as technology is kind of pulling us away from each other.
Right. Community.
Community.
Yeah.
So we're smart texting and tweeting and all that good
and
stuff.
Now we can go meet each other and text and
yeah. And you look down and oh hey, how you doing? Look up for a minute, but so it's pretty cool. And 58 another stat this jumped out at me. 58,000 people moved to Tampa in 2016 alone.
Oh yeah, and it's actually more people are moving. The higher tax states are, those folks are moving to Florida.
Yeah.
And
California, New Jersey, New
York. They're all coming to Florida. I mean, we see it every day. We get more and more calls from those states all the time for people relocating.
I love it. Yeah. So we're perfectly positioned here, with a real estate company, mortgage, insurance, and Kelly, with your business as well. So it's a great opportunity for, all types of people to get involved. And that's what we kind of talk about, especially, there's a lot of people we can help and then we've got to get to them. So how do we get to them? So maybe it's not you. If you're a listener out there, you're listening to our show, we're talking with Diane, Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, and I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And if you just joined in, maybe you're listening for the first time or you're a repeat listener, if you have somebody in your family that's paying rent right now, you have, I would say, a moral obligation to contact them, tell them about the Consumer Quarterback Show, and that's all we do here is we do good deeds. We help people out. We're all about a consumer advocate approach, and if they reach out for a rent versus own analysis, what will we do for them, Diane?
Well, I'll actually show whatever they're paying in rent currently and how much they're actually paying towards the landlords paying down their home that they're renting versus if they actually buy their own, how much they'll actually grow in principal.
Yeah.
So that's something we do for renters, and then we'll show them whatever they're paying now, what could they purchase for that similar to that same amount. It may not be exact, but it will be similar.
And what's some of the feedback you get? When people see those numbers, it's
they're
like
actually shocked.
At 85,000 or 125,000 over 5 years.
$200,000. Yeah, and it's like So they look at over 5 years you're paying your landlord $88,000, whereas you're gaining principal of $17,000 if you depending on all the factors of the purchase price and your
Yeah.
credit score and all those type things. So it's very interesting, and they're so excited because my son, I was just in Chicago, and he's purchasing his first home.
Cool.
He's a first-time home buyer, and it's really good for me to realize he's very detailed. Okay, so
Yep.
like every little question he has is personal. I'm not doing it as a loaner, but our
Right,
employee
right.
loan department's doing it. But it's like every little detail, and it makes me realize how much people need to be educated.
Yes.
And it really brings home, he's like, well, I don't do this every day. I know IT.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and of course, I'm not doing his loan because I'm not licensed in Illinois.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give him, the normal stuff. But it's scary for them. But they are shocked that they can actually purchase a home for almost the same amount that they're paying rent
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
And it's not the old place, and it's nice and all that kind of stuff. And
That's
they get
right.
to paint, and it's theirs.
Yeah.
So.
And I think a lot of people are shocked by that, especially in the Tampa Bay market. It's about a 30 to 40% discrepancy there. Whether you're renting, you're paying 30 to 40% more money out your monthly outlay. They're just talking about your debt to income ratios. You
Correct.
get into like, how much money do I make? How much money do I keep? How much do I pay in taxes? And then when you look at what you could actually purchase for, especially with these low rates, we took a dip. So we're looking at 40 to 50 year low mortgage rates now.
Correct.
So it's a great time to get into the game. Rent versus own analysis for the first 3 listeners who text the word rent to our consumer advocate hotline number 813-670-7372. Simply text the word rent in the amount of rent that you're paying. And again, it may not be you, it may be a loved one that you know of. Let's get them in touch. Let's change their life, and they're going to look back to this date as a momentous occasion where you were able to influence them in a positive way to help them leave a legacy for their family. So text the word rent to 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. You can call or text that line 813-670-7372, and we would love to put you in touch with our team. So we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, more from our expert contributors. We got Diane, Vance in the house, Kelly Oliver coming up. We're going to talk about wealth building with Kelly Oliver,
Yes.
and Doug Levi later in the show as well, strategic insurance. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, our feel-good story of the day. We got a 13-year-old that opens a bakery and matches every sale with a donation to the homeless right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, #1 real estate company in the world. And my wife and I own and operate that team. So if you're a buyer, seller, investor, we'd love to talk to you, and we're going to help you win in negotiations, that's for sure. This segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Lucky Dill Restaurant. And they've got a restaurant, a deli, New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery. They do catering and much more. And it's home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. Huge sandwiches and much more than just sandwiches, salads. They've got great entrees, all types of entrees. 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa, US 19. They have a location in Palm Harbor. Online at luckydilldeli.com. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you next time you go in there. And let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers. They're going to hook you up with a free water with lemon every single time. They're going to take care of you there. They're going to take care of you. We got some pool around here now. All right, so 9200 Gun Highway. This is a hot real estate property. This is the corner of Gun Highway and Racetrack Road. Very interesting corner lot. I just took this listing. Prime vacant land, corner lot, 2.39 acres in Odessa, zoned RSC-2, so that's half-acre larger lots, single-family development. Could be rezoned, could be a great opportunity for a Wawa. Who knows? All types of opportunity here, but it's a great corner lot location, kind of a commercial opportunity here. 9200 Gun Highway in Odessa. Check out all of our real estate properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And we are back here in studio. We've got a great lineup for you here, Intelligent Talk Radio. Diane Vance is in the house, local mortgage expert contributor, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Shifting gears now, we're talking with Kelly Oliver, Business Loan Solutions. We always talk about building wealth, Kelly. And
Yes,
what do you
we
mean by
do.
that? What do you mean by that?
Using your money to build your wealth.
Okay.
And that's it's just what it's all about, right?
I like it.
Yeah. How do we take the money that it is that we have, squeeze as much out of the cents that we can, and then make sense out of that.
I like that. Making dollars and cents out of it.
Make dollars and cents out of it, and then how are you going to apply that?
Right.
Where are you going to go and apply that? And then business loans, right? We help you do that. Right, that's what our contribution to what you're doing is.
And that's a big part of it. I think so many times business owners, let's look at, of course, we've got the Fortune 500, got these big, huge companies that can leverage different types of assets and financing through those different channels that they utilize. Yeah. But let's talk about the small business owner, that medium-sized business owner here. Yeah. Maybe in Tampa Bay or across the United States. I think you can lend in all 50 states.
I do.
So
domestically and internationally as well.
So what a great opportunity then. You have it, these alternative types of loan programs or even conventional type loans through for business, not a residential conventional, but for businesses like the SBA type programs.
Business and then investing, right? So if you're a business and you want to acquire a business, you want to grow, you want to launch a new program, you want to expand what it is, your services that it is that you're doing, that's where we really get to come in and work with you to create something that's going to look like a program that works for you.
Yeah.
And because you know that money is coming, but often it's the money that keeps people from moving forward. And so, if you had the money on the table, it's almost like the wish list.
Right.
If you had the money, what would you do with it?
Yes.
So then you want to create, how can I make more money? How do I turn that investment into something else? Because listen, what money is we're just renting it, right? You rent the money. That's what we do as brokers and lenders. You rent the money, you use it as a tool like you would anything else. And I don't know that every business owner really gets that concept of how to strategically use the tools with you, right? So a lot of people go to the bank, they want to get a bank loan because but they're looking at the payments that they're going to have to make.
Right.
What's missing is looking at the money that they're going to actually bring to the table. Like, what will that small investment as a loan or equity in your business actually turn around and deliver to you? Like, so if I can borrow, this is the stuff that makes sense to me, right? If I can borrow, let's say $100,000, $500,000, right? And I can use that to leverage, and that's 10% of the investment, but I can generate 100% of that money back. Then I'm making the margin, right? I'm making the 90% in between. this makes good sense all day long.
Yeah. There's arbitrage there between the rate that you borrow at, and then also the rate that you're going to get as a return.
That's right.
Your internal rate of return. In some cases, you would call it that. So it makes so much sense. And it could be a company that says, "Hey, if I can invest in more machinery, I can build these widgets that much faster."
Yes, exactly. In fact, there's a biodiesel company that is in Fort Myers. All they needed was $250,000 to retool, retreat their equipment and their investment that they had to unlock $5 million in the next 6 months.
Wow.
I mean,
that's awesome.
You go, I want to borrow that.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
and that's a loan you'd love to make.
I want to do that all day long.
Yeah.
I want to do those kinds of loans all
I
day
love
long.
that. I love the success stories. By the way, if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. We're talking with Kelly Oliver, Business Loan Solutions here. Again, another one of our local area expert contributors here. I love those success stories. Give me another one. Give me some more. What else? Who else are you helping? What's an ideal situation out there? It seems like there's so many emerging markets too. With I'm hearing more and more about new types of plastics that are being made. Versus the old synthetic plastics. There's just some really cool businesses out there. It's just like, man, we need to get behind those types of companies.
Absolutely. Things that are out to change the world, right? Make the world a better place. And sometimes it's difficult to unlodge the old architecture, right, of the old ways of doing things because people are so reliant on those kinds of, it's known, it's, change. People don't want change. But when we can bring something better, faster, cheaper to the table, those are the kinds of things that get us really excited.
Yeah.
So it's business ideas that we can come to the table. It's a new way of doing something that comes to the table. That's what our line of credit program is for, is for businesses who want to do something different that nobody else is doing. And that something different you can't take to the bank. You can't go to the bank and say, I want to borrow $10 million on this new idea, new concept, because that's not what banks are there for. It's not what they do.
Yeah.
They do the traditional lending, the hardcore assets, but when you come to Business Loan Solutions, because what we provide is that that alternate lending, I'm going to say non-traditional, because alternate lending has this little stigma that goes with it. It means it's going to be more expensive and people don't want to trust it. So I'm going to say non-traditional lending.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
and it still paints the picture of what you're actually doing.
Absolutely. And so then we get to entertain those ideas, and then we can customize the solution that works exactly for you as the business owner, who then can say, I need 10 million, but I don't need it all right now today.
Right.
I need a million a month for the next 10 months because they can't spend 10 million, but they know they're going to need it.
Right.
So we can structure it so that it works for them, that they say, they get the million a month that it is that they need. There's accountability that goes along with that, that they get to come back and say how their progress is going. So, they a bonus, you can actually get somebody else who you can tell your story to and say, this is what's working, this is what isn't working. Me personally and our team of people that it is that we work with, I have over 40 years of experience working in businesses, transforming them, unleashing what their capabilities are. So, when they come in, they don't only get someone who gets a lending, but can also do consulting in their business and say, this is not working. Like, what are some ideas?
Wow. So you get decades of that expertise that's going to be given to you on a consultative approach.
That's right.
When you look at these different types of situations.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And you're able to draw on your experience and say, hey, well, I see what your idea is, but what if we looked at it this way, because this really worked well for my client out in Plant City or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then, we were talking just at the beginning is about hotels, right? Because I want to be boots on the ground. I want to tell you everything that's going on.
I love that.
When I get phone calls, it's because that's what's really happening in the real world. So developers are jumping back in. We haven't seen this level of developers getting back into the market for the last 12 years, right? Since 2007, 2008. And they all, went bust and they lost their money. So they've been a little gun shy too. But listen, when that group of people comes back to the table and they understand the fundamentals and how it works, developers then now are the leading source of what's happening in the economy and the market. And the area that they're working in, the specializing in right now, so hotels is really the hottest market that it is that we're working in. Multifamily housing, because the cap rates are so high right now, I mean, actually so low. It means
Right.
they're paying profit in advance
Yeah.
for somebody else buying their property.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. The fundamentals aren't there.
Yep.
Hotels, because there's such a huge demand that's driving what hotels are doing across the country.
Yeah.
That this is a great opportunity to step in maybe a boutique hotel
Yeah.
or transform something, partner with somebody, get 100 keys and go in and transform something or start operating a new hotel or a branded hotel. I mean, there's so much change that's going on in the hotel space altogether that you could brand one of the hotels as a Marriott brand and be under one of their smaller, more boutique type,
Yeah.
branded agencies that they have.
And there's safety that comes with that. For Sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey,
Absolutely.
good stuff. Kelly Oliver, Business Loan Solutions. Coming up, Doug Levi as well, Strategic Insurance. And we have our feel-good story of the day. 13-year-old opens bakery and matches every sale with a donation to the homeless. Right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. Right here, your 5 o'clock drive time, your consumer advocate right here every day. 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz. We got our weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone on Sunday mornings. And then we syndicate all of our content to all of our smart devices, all of your smart devices, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Sony TV, and literally 85 other outlets. So we want you to check out consumerqb.com for more details. You can also submit an email form there at consumerqb.com. Also on the real estate side, you want to check out platinummvpteam.com. That's our real estate company website, and you can do an MLS search there and, of course, connect with us through that site as well, platinummvpteam.com. And we're back here in studio. We got an all-star lineup. Diane, Vance is in the house, local mortgage expert, contributor, Fairway Independent Mortgage coming up from her in the lightning round as well. Kelly Oliver, Business Loan Solutions. And now we're going to shift gears and talk with Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance. So, welcome in, sir.
Glad to be here, Brandon. Excited to be here. Yeah, absolutely.
So good stuff. So in the world of insurance, some changes coming out, some different things happening. I think the big one of recent was the rezoning, the FEMA's outline of the flood insurance.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's funny, I was literally just reading something today about the changes that are still coming with that. And right now, and we've seen a lot of questions on it, and everything is still preliminary. So that's the big thing for people to know, for your consumers to know. Everything's still preliminary. It's likely that they will be finalized, but the biggest thing we would recommend is call your local insurance agent, get some info directly from them, have them run some proposals. And probably one of the biggest things to share that I think is a real-world takeaway impact to help the consumer out there is the flood market's more different than it has been ever before. So I've been in the business 15 years. I've owned my agency 13, and traditionally, you really just had one option for flood, and that was through the federal government, right? Now we have what's known as private market options. And so there are several carriers that have actually come in and are writing flood insurance, similar like you'd think on your homeowners. And I'll just give a quick success story. I know you mentioned earlier you want to hear success stories. We were just working with a dentist the other day, okay? And they're actually buying, it's a commercial building. They're buying a commercial building. We ran the rates through FEMA, through the traditional government option, $14,000 a year. She's really close to the coast. Private market option, $9,000.
Wow.
Now, not to minimize $9,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you're a new business owner. You're buying a practice. You're shelling out money for a mortgage, closing costs, etc. We just saved you $5,000. And that's an option now with Lloyd's of London. Where,
that's great.
Again, 5-10 years ago, that just wasn't out there. So really recommend people, they need to get their eyes on that.
Yeah, it's really huge.
Yeah.
By the way, Doug, so when you look at it, you look at the NFIP, the National Flood Insurance Program, the way that it's been funded over the years, traditionally, and this is just from a real estate agent, outsider perspective here. I'm not an expert in that space, but my general assumption or just thoughts on the thing is, hey, you got Louisiana, you got Alabama, Florida, Georgia. We're paying, in my opinion, I would think the largest chunk of these monies going in, and then you have some kind of what they call one of my favorite books of late, Chris Voss's. He talks about the Black Swan. This unforeseen thing that comes up that you don't really. All of a sudden, you got Superstorm Sandy coming up, hitting New York and New Jersey. So were they paying flood insurance up there in all those areas, and at the extent that we're paying down here? Absolutely. I don't know. I tend to think probably not.
Yeah. No, and it's interesting you say that. And flood really is a national issue, right?
Yeah.
And so it's funny because my wife, who we've got 3 kids under 6, so I joke I got a lot of reason to hustle and work hard for all of our clients. Okay,
that's right.
But she's actually looking to kind of get more involved and engage with the agency, and so she's kind of been studying for her exam, for insurance exam, and all that, and learning a whole bunch of different things. It's been fun, kind of fun. But one of the things she was saying, she just read an article the other day. There were floods in Iowa. There are floods in other parts of the country that we don't even think about. And, and really, and again, another real big takeaway, and especially right now, timing couldn't be any more key. If you don't have flood insurance right now, there's a 30-day wait on it. That's really important for consumers to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the flashing light kind of takeaway is, hey, if you call me today and say, Doug, I want flood insurance, and again, we're talking more the traditional NFIP program, and it's not for a loan closing. The government's going to put a 30-day wait on it. Because guess what? Before Hurricane Irma came, we were very popular for flood insurance.
Yeah.
Do you follow me?
Oh,
clients
yeah.
that we talked about, we've got over 4,500 clients at our agency. I mean, clients that we've talked about for years saying, hey, you should really consider, even though you're not in a quote-unquote flood zone, you should really consider flood insurance. A few days before they're starting, hey, Doug, by the way, how's that flood insurance? Can we do that now?
Yeah.
We can do it, but it's going to be effective 30 days from now. So it's a really big thing for people to know. And I think that the stats are something like 30% of all floods occur in quote-unquote non-flood zones. So just because you're not in a flood zone where the mortgage company is going to say, hey, you want to buy the home, you're in a flood zone, you got to have flood insurance, the risk's still out there. And, the rates max out at $480 a year or something like that. So a little more than $1 a day to protect your biggest asset's really what I tell people to kind of just think about it practically.
Yeah, it really is. I can imagine, last year looking at that monster on the TV that you couldn't get away from. Every TV you looked at, it's like, whoosh, there's the storm.
The whole
You're like,
state's
wow.
covered. Yeah, exactly.
It's huge. And, so we definitely need a little bit of a break from the hurricane gods. We definitely need that.
Say a prayer for sure.
So when you look at that, Doug Levi here in studio, Strategic Insurance Services. Now, a lot of times what I talk about on the show over the years is having a comprehensive approach, making sure that, your attorney's talking to your CPAs, talking to your insurance guy, talking to, the whole gamut, right? And when you look at, insurance, I think it's a lot of times people just renew it. They sign, hey, sign here, renew it. They from year to year, and they don't really know what they have. So one thing I talked to you about in our pre-show interview, we were talking about the potential to get a review, and you actually have a cool take on that review.
Yeah, so we do protection reviews. So we call them protection reviews, and one of the things that we actually do in our agency is we have a system in place where we do a review each year with our clients. Now, not everyone takes us up on that, right? But every year we're going to contact our clients about 60 days ahead of renewal and let them know, hey, you're coming up for renewal. We've shopped the market. We'd like to sit down and talk with you or do a phone call or whatever. And we realize people are super busy, but it's super important. And for anyone who's interested, we actually do we call it our $17 Amazon gift card challenge. So
nice.
if you're not a current client of ours and you want to take a look, review your current insurance, we're happy to do that. If we can't save you some money, you get a $17 Amazon gift card. Just for the opportunity for us to review your policy and coverage apples to apples. So.
I really like that. So let's do that then. Let's do that for, I'm an action taker, as a Tony Robbins business mastery guy, right?
Love it.
It's like, so one of the things that he talks about is that, if you see a goal or you have an idea, take action, do some small steps, schedule the appointment, make the call, send the text. So let's do that right now. Let's give you the option to take your future under your control and just really be proactive, proactive about it. So text the word review if you want to have Doug and his team do an insurance review for you. Just text the word review to 813-670-7372, and that's for our radio family out there, our extended family. We want you to be in position to where you're not worrying about your assets, your number one assets, again, in many cases, especially, if you're a homeowner, and then if you're a renter, or an investor, hey, you got to do that as well. So text the word review to our hotline, 813-670-7372, and you're not sure what you have. This is just an opportunity, and Doug's going to hook you up with a $17 Amazon gift card either way. So, reach out and get that review done. 813-670-7372.
How did you come up with $17?
Because you asked.
Yeah, that's right. Because if it was 20, it would be
it's all marketing. It's all marketing.
That number,
right? You go to Walmart, it's $1.87, or
that's right.
It's marketing.
I like that. Yeah, $17.
Something different.
I was going to come up with an $18. I'm just kidding.
You topped me, Brandon.
I'm kidding with you. So, Doug, I love the idea of family businesses. Tell us more about your organization. Like, what are your values? What do you guys focus over there?
Thanks for asking. So, my faith's really important to me. I accepted Christ 10 years ago in my life, so definitely run my business from a Christian viewpoint.
Yes.
You don't have to be a Christian to work there or work with us, but my faith's really important to me. So our core values are integrity, excellence, and service, right? So we really believe in, we want to take great care of the client. And we certainly see insurance as one of those things where, as you said, you may have gotten a referral from your realtor 8 years ago for your insurance, and you've just renewed each year.
Right.
And it's escrow billed, so the mortgage pays for it. And maybe you really, you're like our family. You've got 3 kids under 6. You're stepping on Legos and figuring out new Amazon boxes coming in the door every day. You got so much going on, you haven't really taken a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
And I'll share too. I wrote a book called Surviving the Insurance Jungle.
Nice.
You can check it out on Amazon. So if you go on Amazon, Surviving the Insurance Jungle. And I wrote it really from a viewpoint of what I've been teaching clients for the last 15 years is how to get the best value for your dollar, right?
Yeah.
How to get the best value for your insurance dollar and still make sure you're well protected. Because when I did the research on it, the average family spends about 11% of their budget on insurance. Think about that. Now, that's especially when you add in healthcare costs. Think about your health insurance. But when you add in your home, your auto, your life, your health, your dental, your vision, and on and on and on and on, it's significant, right? And so our goal is to make sure that we teach our clients how to get the very best value and also show them some things they may not need, right? Some things that maybe there's areas that they may not need or areas where they can save. So we're really big on that. We really try and take that family first approach.
Very cool. I like that a lot. And you look at, the insurances. Most insurances cover your future. Then here we are selling real estate, and then you buy this title insurance. It's like you're insuring your past. And your title insurance, right? So it's kind of different how you think about that. But
and I'll just add real quick too. One of the things we always get is nobody loves paying for insurance, right? I get that. I joke myself, but we get one of these where nobody wants it until they need it, and then they want all they can get, right? And insurance, if you think about it, it's one of those things you don't always know what you've got until you maybe have a claim.
Until you got a claim.
Do you follow me? And then it's like, absolutely. Oh, by the way, that fine print said, another big one just for the listeners out there right now is water damage exclusions are huge. Okay, so there's a lot of carriers. I've got 18 insurance companies that we work with for homeowners, and we've got a few that don't, but there's a lot that put a $10,000 limit on water. So a pipe breaks and causes a flood, right? They're going to give you a maximum of $10,000. And they do that especially on homes that are older, like over 40 years. And there's a lot of those homes here in the area. And so the question out there could be a lot of people, they don't even know they've got that. They don't even know they've got that. And then their dishwasher overflows, their hardwood floors are damaged, and they're left holding the bag. So again, we take kind of like your show, and that's why I'm excited to be a part of it. We take a real proactive education approach, kind of that Dave Ramsey would like to, have the heart of the teacher, if you will.
I like it.
And just explaining to the clients the options and then let them decide. Yeah,
absolutely. Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance Services, and more from our expert contributors coming up. We're going to jump into our lightning round. We're going to give you our top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom here coming up. And also our feel-good story of the day is a good one. 13-year-old opens bakery and matches every sale with a donation to the homeless. Really cool story coming up for you, so stay with us right here. Do not touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. Ian Beckles.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Check out our other business we got launched. It's the Business Growth Celebrity Academy, bgca.co, and it's a unique opportunity for you to realize the celebrity in you. The Business Growth Celebrity Academy helps you become a micro-celebrity to grow wealth, build personal brand, and increase your status. Anyone can become a micro-celebrity. It's easy. Check out bgca.co, bgca.co, and that's our company we founded and launched with Ken Shamrock. He's the Ultimate Fighting Champion, the UFC Hall of Famer, WWF and WWE legend Ken Shamrock, as well as our business partner. So a lot of fun with that company. We are really excited. So check out bgca.co for more information. So every day we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
So a 13-year-old opens a bakery and matches every sale with a donation to the homeless. So this 13-year-old kid in Maryland, he runs his own bakery, and he matches every sale with a donation to the homeless. So meet Michael Platt. From a young age, Michael loved cupcakes. He spent many afternoons at his computer watching YouTubers bake, YouTube bakers. And at just 11 years old, he founded Michael's Desserts, which operates on a unique business model. For every cupcake sold, he donates one to the homeless. So, quote, I knew that I wanted to make a business, but I knew I just didn't want to make money. I also wanted to help people at the same time, he told WJLA. Michael partnered with No Kid Hungry, a nonprofit that provides meals and hosts educational programming for children. While he's been told by many that this business model is not sustainable, his business has continued to grow. He told the Washington Post that he sells about 12 cookies, 75 cupcakes, and 12 rotating Chef's Choice items per month. Quote, I always wanted to have a purpose for what I do, he told the Washington Post. It's all about helping people, not just a purpose for yourself, but think about how does this thing touch other people? So pretty cool.
Very wise.
Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff, man. I like that. This segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought-after destinations in the Tampa Bay area for many, many years. They've got Sloppy Joe's beach bar and restaurant there on site as well, and it's just a great opportunity to get away for the weekend, whether you're planning a wedding or a business trip, family vacation, or local staycation. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we are back here in studio helping you win. That is our number one goal. Hot property listing I want to let you know about here, 12610 Port Marnock Drive. This is in Odessa, and it's a gorgeous gated community here, golf course community, Turnberry at the Eagles. And this is a $500,000 asset that we have. Gorgeous home, gated community, Turnberry at the Eagles. And if you check out the beautiful photography, compliments of Fabre Frameworks, our real estate photographer, that is, water views in the front and back. What a great opportunity in Odessa, Florida, kind of that north side of Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.com. All right, let's jump into our lightning round here. We're going to give you some top tips, nuggets of advice, and parting words of wisdom.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, Diane, Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage.
Yes, I would have the listeners go to fairwaytampabay.com, and if they're interested in refinancing or purchase, there's actually it's called a widget, and you can actually fill it out on there, and we'll get with you. And if you want to reduce your payment or get rid of PMI or refinance, pull cash out, or purchase, we will follow up with you on there.
Lots of opportunity. Fairwaytampabay.com. And you said it's a widget?
Yeah, it's called a wiglet, I guess. Is the actual term, wiglet.
Isn't it funny these words we say? They say tweeting and all this stuff.
It's like whatever the IT information.
Yeah. Click the button. That's what you do. Click the button,
and it'll keep taking you down the road.
There you go, and then we'll get you there. Kelly Oliver, Business Loan Solutions.
So this is my thought for today. We're always talking about taking action and SMART goals and all of that thing. One thing that we always forget to do because we're so busy in what we're doing is to tie your successes and your wins to celebration. And we do not celebrate our wins nearly enough. And
Right.
if you're not celebrating your win at least every day, just for listen, I wake up in the morning, I get my first 5 things done. By 10:30, I'm like, I have won my day.
Yeah, that's right. You got that momentum.
You get the momentum.
And boom,
and that takes you on to the next thing and the next thing. So, celebrate the small wins, lump them together. And when you are celebrating, just really go back and take a look at what your wins were so that you can tie them to success, because that propels your abundance, your feeling good, your moving forward, your willingness to want to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah. It's going to release those endorphins in the brain and just bring more of it.
Yes.
And so what's your favorite way to celebrate? Or a way? What's something?
I do like to go to the beach. I like to hang out, just relax, and turn off my cell phone and not talk to anybody.
There you go. There you go. Hey, that's a nice escape sometimes.
It
right?
is. It is. I need that sometimes because I do a lot of conversations. I'm usually on the phone from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. So when I get my 2 chances to not have to talk to somebody.
Yeah. That's my daughter's exact conversation on the way to the studio today. Dad, I'm always spending time with you, but you're on the phone. I was like, well, it's part of business.
That's missed opportunity. See, right there is a missed opportunity.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance Services. Give us some nuggets of advice.
That's some great wisdom there from Kelly. I'll throw a Zig Ziglar at you. You can get everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. Right?
Yeah.
Great words. So a great way we could help the consumers out there is give our office a call for the protection review. We'd love an opportunity. And again, with hurricane season, taking a review at the flood insurance, our number is super easy to remember. It's 866-INS, short for insurance, 0123. So 866-INS. 0123, and one of our risk management advisors would be happy to help out.
Nice. And the website is Get Strategic Insurance.
Yep, it's getstrategicins.com.
Good.
Yep.
Good for you for shorting it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I figured the phone might even be easier. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And so I'll take my lightning round here to talk about Pareto principle. It's something I always go to, is the 80-20 rule. It's interesting when you look at how Wilfredo Pareto in 1895, an Italian economist, he found that all the wealth in Italy was divided up into what he called the vital few. So he had 20% of the landowners that owned 80% of the wealth at that time. And it's funny how that 80-20 rule just translates into every aspect of life. You find it, 20% of the criminals commit 80% of the crimes. You've got 20% of the beer drinkers that drink, 80% of the beer, right? You think about it, right? In your closet, in your own closet, you wear about 80% of your clothes 20% of the time.
Funny.
Or 20% of your clothes 80% of the time.
So one outfit at a time.
Right. Yeah. Well, every week, right? You have your favorites, in other words. You get your go-tos, right? So then, how does that translate to life and business and success? What it does is if you list out your top 10 things that you do every day or every week, those top 2 or 3 things are going to be the ones you want to focus on. That's going to help you drive business. It's going to help you lead to success, and that's my lightning round tip here. So we've got a couple minutes left. Let's do another quick tip from you, Diane.
Yes, stop renting. If you are paying $1,400 a month, you can get home for right around $200,000.
Yeah.
So stop renting and start owning.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We looked at Pinellas market statistics. So closed sales last year. So the median sale price was in 2018 $255,000. That in Pinellas County, traditional single-family homes, a median sale price up to $270,000. So I'll hold that up now so you can see that. But yeah, it's really cool when you look at that. The statistics showing that. So you're going to build wealth through the ability to purchase real estate. It's a really good opportunity.
Yes.
That's right. Kelly Oliver, Business Loan Solutions.
I'm going to take a turn all the way around. So we always talk about procrastinating.
Yeah.
Stop procrastinating, take a step, get started. Listen, if you're going to procrastinate it, do it really well. Sit in a chair, don't move. Procrastinate and feel your procrastination, because you're procrastinating anyway. So might as well own it, own your procrastination, and get it behind you, and then go move forward.
It's kind of like meditation, maybe?
You can call it meditation, but listen, that meditating is still doing something. So if you're going to procrastinate, don't do anything. Just sit there until you're inspired to take action.
I like it.
And then when you're inspired, listen, things will just click. And that whole thing about procrastination just dies. It goes away.
That's right.
Because you honored it. Right?
There's something that's to be said about being silent, getting in your own, and just relaxing, chilling out, because the ideas will come to you.
Absolutely,
you got to silence your mind a little bit.
They will, and you got to get in the being okay with sitting in your chair and not moving.
Right.
Especially for the active doers and the I got to be doing something.
How
people.
hard is that to do now?
I know.
I watch a TV show, a commercial comes on, I instantly reach for my phone.
Yeah.
Let me check this, check that. What about that email? Well, let me follow up.
No TV,
Right.
no music, no book, no kids, no anything. Just sit in a chair and just be still.
I like that.
Just be still.
Good
and
stuff.
Own it.
All right, I'll try that.
Okay.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, let me know. Text me while you're doing
I'll
that.
text you when I'm done. Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, Kelly Oliver, Business Loan Solutions, Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance Services. Another great show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. Maybe donate some blood. There's lots of ways that you can volunteer and be involved. And continue to tune in and follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. Consumer Quarterback Show page is out there. Check out our podcast as well on iTunes. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.